He just showed us that he is the real deal. A David Jones Garcia legacy game helps the Spurs come back after losing their huge lead to win big against the Atlanta Hawks. Julian Champagnie down the stretch. Luke Cornett getting some buckets and De'Aaron Fox showing out. But the star of the show is David Jones Garcia himself, doing it all for the San Antonio Spurs. And right now the Spurs are 3-0 since these big injuries have plagued the team. Without Victor Wembanyama, no Dylan Harper. We got an update on him. And you know what? We're actually going to quickly start with that. Dylan Harper has been working. He's been taking shots before the games. He's been working in practice. He's actually going to be back soon. But guess what? His spot as best left-handed guard to come off the bench has been lost to David Jones Garcia. But before we get into him, I do want to highlight some other players. There's a lot to get into here, right? Taking a look at the box score, feel free to pause, have a look. As always, make sure video quality is HD. There's so many good players that can highlight. Julian Champagnie is one of them, especially down the stretch of this game. 5 for 10 from 3, 7 for 13 from the field, as he did get the start tonight. What an incredible performance. Champagnie is definitely hot and cold. One of these guys that, can either be on fire or not, but you can see him, this layup, this was a 10-0 run at this point. I believe it was 10-0. Just an incredible play, and also bringing out the hops. I don't remember ever seeing Champagnie pull that off, so big shout out to him. 5 dimes too. That's tied for third on the team with Sochan, who also, again, Jeremy Sochan, only 3 for 10 from the field. That 3-point shot wasn't there tonight, but to come in and play solid defense, get 5 assists, get 5 rebounds, get a steal, get a block, it's everything we wanted from Jeremy Sochan, right? But again, the stars showed up tonight, and this is the big reason the Spurs did manage to build up a big lead and then give it all away and then take it all back and roll into this victory against Atlanta that sends Atlanta down in the standings, which, as a lot of you know, thank you to DeJounte Murray, we still have their pick this year. So there's a lot of implications just beating the Hawks. But De'Aaron Fox, I just need to talk about De'Aaron Fox, and we are getting to David Jones Garcia, I promise. But De'Aaron Fox, 26, 9 assists, 5 rebounds, 3 steals. That's our point guard. I agree. This is why we paid the man. This is an all-NBA point guard, and we're seeing what he can do when he can be that primary ball handler. I said it last game. I will continue saying it. I am a huge De'Aaron Fox fan. Yes, the first few games, look, even still with Wemby, there's a bit of a lack of chemistry, but the fact that the Spurs can go 3-0 without Wemby, without Castle, without Harper is incredible. I know one of them was still with Castle, whatever, but it's incredible, and it's shown really how much this team has grown. Also, only 10 turnovers tonight. Just 10. No player on the San Antonio Spurs had more than 2 turnovers. And De'Aaron Fox had 2. Keldon Johnson had 2. But De'Aaron Fox, to do what he has done with this team and to lead us, again, these are not the most incredible teams to go out and beat. We beat Sacramento, who are now, I think, on an 8-game losing streak. We beat a Memphis Grizzlies team that has no John Morant, who beat an Atlanta Hawks team that had Jalen Johnson, who is incredible, by the way, but they don't have Trae Young. So it's beating these teams it's important for the standings. These are the games, it's easy to dismiss it, is what I'm saying, right? It's easy to look at this and say, well, it was just like these 3 teams. But these are so important because the good teams in the NBA, you know what they do? They beat the teams that they're supposed to beat. Look, we made this one close, right? We've had a few games this season, like that Pelicans won, the Brooklyn won when Cam Thomas dropped 40. There are games where the Spurs have made it closer than it should have been, but they still came out on top, and the growth for this team has been incredible. And Keldon Johnson needs a shout out too. You guys always know I got my handy dandy Keldon Johnson jersey right here. The number 3, baby. 25.7 boards. He was going nuts. He was leading the team in scoring. What do you have? 18 points in 12 minutes at one point. Keldon Johnson was so good. The Mustang, big body. I still call him big body. What an incredible game. But again, this is a David Jones Garcia legacy game, and we're about to dive into it. David Jones Garcia off the bench, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, and a block to help the Spurs build a 15-point lead again. And what a game it was for him. A team high, plus 25. He absolutely is the real deal. He had a nice slam. We're going to run some of these highlights again. A great outlet pass there to Julian Champagnie. And getting the steal here on the ball, going down and slamming it home. That's this picture that you just saw. David Jones Garcia put on an incredible legacy game. We have the first official David Jones Garcia game, and I completely agree with Matthew Tynan. La noche de David Jones Garcia ante Atlanta, 12 points, 5 boards, 6 assists, 3 steals. Incredible. Que hombre, que jugador. Bailen. Absolutely. Un saludo a todos nuestros espectadores dominicanos. Oh boy, I'm excited. I'm so excited. Oh, I just want to, sometimes I want to just speak Spanish or French or English, whatever. I can't speak Spanish as well as the others, but David Jones Garcia, like, he's getting me in that mood, you know? I see that Dominican man, this beautiful Dominican man who's showing up, doing what he's doing. And for me, like, I saw some people say, David Jones Garcia, like, what he did in Summer League and what he's done so far now when given the chance has been incredible, right? It's not just the scoring touch, which absolutely is there. 5 for 7 from the field, 1 for 1 from 3, 3 steals, 6 assists. Like, he's doing it all, really, right? Like, even the defense, he again, defense is more than just steals, but the effort is there. And how often have you seen a player, oh, you know, they get steals, but they're not actually that good a defender? Jones Garcia was doing everything he could. He was getting rebounds, he was getting steals, and on a lot of teams in the NBA, Jones Garcia is probably already getting more minutes than he has been this year in San Antonio. And so, look, it's never a good thing when guys get injured. When Wemby goes out, sweaters available in the description. 10% off right now, by the way, for all of you viewers using code DIGEST. So get your shirts and your sweaters. But, like, you're missing Dylan Harper, you're missing Castle, you're missing Wemby. You need someone to step up, right? We've talked about this so much, how it's the moment for people to step up and make their mark on this team. And that is exactly what David Jones Garcia did. Like, having this depth this far down your bench is a privilege that not very many teams have. Jones Garcia is like, you can go see his headshots for the Austin Spurs. He's expected to play most of his time with the Austin Spurs. This is a game where Lindy Waters didn't get in. We tried Jones Garcia, and it paid off. He had a ton of chemistry with so many different players. And, like, look, he's not going to have games like this every single game. But the fact that he could go in there and do this at the NBA level against a Hawks team that, like, again, made this game close, Jones Garcia felt like, he was calm under pressure. It didn't matter. He was a huge reason that the San Antonio Spurs built their 15-point lead back up when it was cut down all the way down. I think it was it was a 3-point game after the third quarter, right? So, like, it was a really, really tough third quarter. The Spurs are really good in the first and fourth quarters. I don't understand. I think coming into this game, we were like plus 40 in the first and fourth and like neutral in the second and third. That's not sustainable. We can't keep having that happen. But the fact that Jones Garcia could come in and do this is insane. Like, we talk about him. We've talked about him before the season. The Summer League was crazy. Preseason, we're like, man, he's really good. Is he actually going to get a shot? We thought maybe if there's an injury, right? Well, sure enough, exactly what happens. A couple of guards ahead of him in the rotation get injured. And we were going with Lindy Waters. But it's not just Waters. Like, we got to remember Jordan McLaughlin's also. Like, he also hurt himself. So right now, it really is just like, okay, David Jones Garcia, you're our main guard off the bench. We're going to try you instead of Waters. And my gosh, did it ever pay off. Like, I am so, I think you can tell how excited I am because I want to see more of him. And I want to see more of him when Wemby's back, when Castle's back, when Harper's back. And look, I'm not expecting 20 minutes a night from this guy. But if he makes himself inevitable, if he performs at the level that we're seeing him perform, there's no reason not to have him come into more games. Even just as a microwave bench player, it seems to work for him. He's maybe a volume scorer, but I don't really know because we don't really have much of a sample of him at the NBA level. We've seen what he did in the preseason and Summer League, but I want to see how this can convert to a more full-time role with the Spurs. And it is just one game, and I should calm down, but that's not what I'm about. I'm excited. I love David Jones Garcia. I'm so happy he had this kind of game. I'm so happy, most importantly, that the Spurs got the win. Still on pace for 78-4, baby. We're now 11-4. We're climbing up that bloodbath of a Western Conference, and right now, I couldn't be happier, right? Because it's so easy to be doom and gloom when all these injuries happen, and we lost a few games, and it wasn't going great. But the resilience of this team to stomp the teams and beat the teams that we need to beat in the Grizzlies, in the Hawks, in the Kings, and to just hold that, right? If we lost some of these games, it would look a lot worse when our guys are getting back from injury. But like we saw, Dylan Harper, he's almost ready to come back. Where is it? He's right here. He's putting in some work. Won't be long before he's back in the mix. Castle, it's not a big time injury. The bigger one here is like Wemby, who's still not that big an injury, right? So these guys should all be back within the coming weeks, definitely before Christmas, it seems, and I can't wait. Leave your thoughts on this down below. Everything's turning up Spurs. That'll do it for this episode. And hey, if you want to stay tuned every single day for all the latest news, this is your spot to be. Thank you to all of you loyal subscribers who are tuned in every single day. We see you commenting, we see you coming back every day, and you know where to find me. I'm your host, Josh Gosse, and I'll catch you in the next one.